ESL Pro League.
That's right. Let's kick it off in the right way. A pistol round between Navi and Astralis right here on Dust 2. It's going to be that of a T-side start for Navi. And so far, so good. We're going to try to keep the hype going as long as we can. Thank you, everyone, for joining us for this banger of a matchup here for the ESL Pro League Season 11.
Yeah, it doesn't get much better than this. This is the grand finals in the group stage, as we call it. We may see this even later in the tournament as well. Device wants to make it quick, though. Electronic removed immediately. He had trouble on the previous map finding his footing. Well, Dust 2 can't afford to be the same, but that's not the start that Navi needed up towards the catwalk. 2 outside long, 2 up cat. Astralis, they've read the situation well. Look at this B rotate. They're all shuffling out of B and moving towards middle. This allows A rotations to come through faster, but Izipex gets smoked off down in CT spawn. Glaive has to hold his own on his own, but Device is coming in for support, and he's got a quick tap. Simple with the trade, the P250, so good as we know. Glaive trying to stall this fight for as long as he physically can, but Simple is closing in on his prey. Glaive really playing with his food, and he will finish the job. Flamey now last alive, trying to stick the bomb. He won't get jump shot, but he also won't be able to close this out. We're just coming in on the wrap, and Astralis finding a pistol.
Yeah, just like that, this train isn't quite derailed yet, but we are making a stop at the first station, which subsequently is just after this pistol round. Astralis grabbing it, making it look somewhat easy. A bomb plant could help the Navi side, but we're going to find out in due time.
And that's Astralis 3 for 3 in pistol rounds in this series. And, you know, coupled with this stat down here, not a common thing to happen on the realms of Dust 2. So Astralis looking good, right? I mean, it kind of adds some context to that 16-5 when you take into account that 6 of those rounds come on the back of, you know, the pistol and finding success in those anti-force buys and then the rounds to follow. Navi, they really didn't want this one to go against them. The Deagle on Simple, going to try and go toe-to-toe with Device down here in mid. But early on, Simple's definitely come out the worst on this engagement. 20 points of health as he was tagged up just moments ago. Device has diverted his attention down here towards the lower tunnels. And he does spot, actually even hits Boomich there on the cross. No idea how he's curved the bullet like that. But short control is at least nabbed and grabbed for Navi.
Flash up, but just sets his teammate in pole positions. He picks with a fadeaway shot as well, even finds Simple. Finishes off the job that Device started, and Device looking for a little bit more in middle. He gets flashed off the angle, pushed back to the doors in B. Navi, though, what can they really even do in this round? Another flashbang back up, and just goes with it, and he will find some damage. Spots the bomb as well on the catwalk. At this point, though, it's just about going through the motions. Astralis should have this round under lock and key. And with 4 kills, Boomich left to follow. Almost takes down Device, who gets put on 2, but not enough. It's going to be a 2-0 for Astralis. Navi coming in with guns in the third. Not keen to force after that pistol loss with a bomb plant. They did back on Inferno with a double Krieg AK buy. Navi would rather have everyone armed to the teeth, and they will be in this round.
Zipex and Device going to stick around, at least on this SMG and this Scout. Shouldn't be too big of a problem. As Mr. Alexander Kostalev has a Scout as well. You might know him as Simple.
That nade was just a second later from Dupree. Could have found a lot of damage. Now we get to see this little Scout standoff down here in mid. Ooh. Simple.
I've seen him wallbang this far too many times.
Device knows that, though. Doesn't want to be on the receiving end of a Simple wallbang, and so he tries to make this round anything but simple. He'll rotate around over here towards the crossroads. Magisk now taking up his position, keeping an eye on these mid doors. Navi setting up over towards Cat side. Still have a player in lower tunnels in the form of Perfecto. He's able to keep an eye on this upper tunnels aggression from Astralis. And also having him here leaves the option open to Navi to change their mind and go back towards B later in the round, should they desire to. Electronic going to be lining up this smoke. The rest of the gang now in tow, and it looks like it might just be the A commitment. Perfecto has left the tunnels, and so that's going to signal that at least right now. Smoke goes down to allow the cross out. But a well-placed Molotov from Glaive, who'd been holding onto it for a while. Now coupled with this smoke from Xyp9x, that could seal Navi's fate. Astralis have done such a good job of holding onto this utility. And Glaive, he waits in the smoke. Oh dear, they haven't checked it. The flashes are good and he's fully blind, so only is able to get one. But it's still a man advantage now for Astralis. Device scouts down Boomich. 10 seconds on this clock and Navi are trapped. They're stuck. They can't get into the site. This might be a save, but this is not how you want to be saving Simple. Oh, he gets shut down and only Flamey left over towards the long doors. He does hold on to the AK, but that's not much of a silver lining for Navi.
Yeah, he tries to switch over to the Deagle there towards the end of the round, towards the end of his life in the round, and, well, he just really trying to let that recoil reset. No way he was going to get a shot off. That's going to be Astralis taking the shot in that round and hitting the bullseye. 3-0. And just where they want to be.
Yeah, and Flamey's the player there who's meant to be alive if all goes well for Navi, right? If they take that A site, if they get the bomb planted, well, Flamey, he's at top mid, ready to cut off not only long aggression, but cat control for Astralis on the retake. Unfortunately, when your take doesn't go well, well, Flamey, he's just left alone with nothing to do and nowhere to go but T-spawn. Unfortunate one for Navi. And Device, he even threw flashes through the long doors as Navi were taking catwalk. That got Flamey's attention so stuck on long for a while. It allowed Device to back up and not be feared of getting flanked. Now in this one, the fear is in the hands of Navi as they only rely on this one man, this one gun to get it all done. Flamey hit by the smoke will not stop him from getting a kill, taking down Device in the spawn. Navi, not really a retrievable gun, but they're looking to follow up upon Flamey's frag.
Yeah, losing Device there is definitely not the be and end all for Astralis. They still have a 2-2 split between either site. Magis gets dinked up there, but the Molotov has hold back Navi. Heavy rotations from Astralis. They pull everyone off of this B site. Now, this does leave it empty. Dupree will be fast on the rotation should he be needed to be. Immediately, he sees Perfecto get past, and they rotate. Navi, they've only sent one man over towards the realm of this B site. The rest dropping down the catwalk late. Astralis have fallen back into this exact same CT side default that they held just 40 seconds ago before this rotation. So you wouldn't even know that they were affected by this A play that Navi tried to throw in. Xyp9x is even going to spot Boomich, but isn't able to get himself that kill. Does get it the second time around. Now, this should just be the mop-up for Astralis. Flamey's tagged up. Xyp9x puts them both in the ground. Simple, 10 seconds. He wants to die, and luckily enough, Magisk will give him that wish. 4-0 for Astralis, but a reinvestment back on the cards for Navi, and we will get to see this AWP come out now.
Yeah, they make it interesting, but Astralis, what a really, really good read to double back in towards B and send those two rotates off the back of seeing Perfecto take tunnels control. On the side of Navi, 3 players 0-4. Not the start you want as Astralis sit 4-0 up. Hopefully that can change. Simple, certainly looking to build upon his 2 kills. That's a third. Dupree dead in the middle. Tries to peek through with a grenade. Electronic responded onto by Device. Glaive pushed back by the Molly, but he does spot a player on the catwalk. Grenades have been really good for Astralis so far this map. They've been key to double nade cats, and even these delay plays, like you said, with the smoke, Harry, in the previous, very much get in the way of Navi running their own game plans. But for now, it's long control.
Yeah, look at this read here from the side of Glaive and Xyp9x. They're going to go ahead and try to get into long and at least make it look like there's a presence here. Navi have found themselves out there. That's Flamey at the blue bin. Glaive's going to be that first line of contact. It's going to go the way of Flamey over Glaive. Now 3 deep outside of long. Xyp9x is going to try to answer the call. Just one remaining member in the form of Perfecto there towards lower to maybe catch off a rotation. Xyp9x goes for a peek. Now that's going to be a scary one. The op brings out, but Flamey on the charge. It's just Device and Magisk left in this round.
Simple was so close to the blind shot. Astralis are so close to conceding their first rounder here on the CT side. Will they give it up, or will they be able to hold down the line? Just fighting middle, dropped by Perfecto on the flank, and now it is just Device up on cap. Might even just consider getting out of this one and keeping the AWP for the next.
Says, you know what? I'm going to take that kit. I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to head out. Easy enough. First round on the board for Navi. How about that? 4 alive. Potentially less if Device does something cheeky here, something strange for a little piece of change. And the classic peek down middle, maybe even op down middle in the latter stages of the round.
Yeah, you really don't imagine Navi are going to dedicate to hunting him down too much, right? Astralis have taken these first 4 pretty cleanly, so taking the AWP out of their hands isn't really the end of the world for Astralis anyway. Holding on to it just means they don't have to reinvest in it in this next round. Navi getting their first on the board, and they want to try and keep their own money in good standing here. You know, it kind of felt like that started to become a bit of a downfall for them over on Inferno, and they want to try and keep themselves out of that hole for as long as they can. Now, that shot, kind of mind-blowing from Simple.
Oh, man, come on. I've done that in matchmaking. You've seen it. I'm just kidding. This guy, absolute legend.
Yeah, but it might not be enough. Navi finding their first on this T side. Can't afford to just get traded and swapped back by Astralis. We saw how far the streak went on the previous map on the CT side. The missed shot, gets baited by the jump. Electronic forces a fight out and will be able to get towards a catwalk safely, rather. On the other side, there was another AWP. It's Device here waiting with that save from the previous round. He's got grenades to follow, but no one this deep on the catwalk. You can see Navi definitely aware of the utility that's coming through from Astralis. They're playing very passive early on Cat until these grenades come in. Astralis have been throwing them every round, and they've never really once done significant damage because Navi have been avoiding that. Knowing the tendencies of their opposition, certainly something that plays in the favor of Navi for now.
Oh, this Device on the catwalk. AWP trained just there. Takes a shot, and somehow Electronic just absolutely embarrasses Device out in the open.
Delete.
Yeah, it's going to be his first kill in the game. And now we're going to see the charge of the A site here from the Navi side. One left defender there in the form of Glaive at long. It's not long before he's out of the round. Flamey's there on the charge to make sure it's extra secure. We're going to see a second one here for Nodisfence here. Charles have had enough. They're going to back out.
Yeah, and you can already see this time Navi are a lot more willing to try and throw some players after these rifles. They know the implication that taking even one of these away would have. It would hamstring you for a bye in the next round. If Astralis save 3, they can still muster something together here, thanks to Magisk and Device. So they've got that to look forward to. And that's why that little kill from Magisk onto Simple down in CT, even though it might not look like much, still holds some pretty big consequences here. Because Navi just immediately stop hunting. They don't want to run any more players into the problem. So a second now on the board for Navi, and a chance for even more. If they pick this round up, that's when finally they break the Beast's economy on the other side. dupreeh donning the AWP early. This is surely based off of spawn. He's got himself this mid spawn. He's going to try and take the peak, perhaps. Does have Simple to go up against on the other side, so not the easiest of feats. He will just cross on over. And actually, looks like dupreeh's just taken the AWP in this round. Device playing with the M4 over at long side. Not terribly uncommon to see them switch, but let's see if it's going to yield the results Astralis were hoping for. dupreeh pushing the upper tunnels with this AWP. That's the info that it's looking pretty clear right about now. Perfecto is holding for this push, and he just gets off the angle, and in that time, dupreeh has moved into position. Perfecto now calls that they've cleared the upper B halls. And for Navi, this is either going to be a period where they try and pick up the pace now in response to that, knowing that a rotation is coming through, or they've got to take all this time to clear out the back line, and that's just not an option for Navi. They try and pick up the pace, they try and hit this A side of the map. They really heat things up with the Molotov. Zipnix has a little bit of a cool spot here in amongst the mollies. And well, they know he's at Goose. They mollied it. They mollied the site. There shouldn't be anyone here, so they don't even bother checking it. And that's Perfecto running to his demise. It's only one. Glaive still here on the pit. The bomb typed on in. The numbers go down. And now we're into this 4-on-4.
Yeah, Glaive is just waiting for his team to set up for the retake. Boomich is going to force a fight, though, trading after Electronic has dropped. Simple with the AWP and the post-plant is even more lethal than before, and Boomich dinked down to 10. It's still viable for Astralis, but time is the biggest factor, and they want nothing to do with it. Going to run right back. Flamey spots the AWP retreating in middle and tries to beat him to the punch on B. I like this play from Flamey. He's got Simple by him as well to cut dupreeh off in middle. They really desperately want to take this AWP away. At this point, Magisk is no longer a concern for Navi. But maybe he should be. He's coming in on this wraparound. Flamey baiting, trying to force a shot. He's done that, and there's the round and the kill coming through as well. dupreeh loses the AWP in the B-bomb site, and Navi, they're building back into this game, Trace. It was a 4-0 for Astralis, but no longer.
It wouldn't surprise me if we see like a B play from Navi. A bunch of reasons for that. One is the spawn that they have, 3 players over towards B. The other is with Astralis pushing the tunnels, learning that it's clear. Navi going back to this A play once again, which has really felt like their bread and butter on the T side. You know that Astralis don't have money to invest into this round. So if there ever was a time to go towards B, it's now. And that looks to be the decision. They send 4 players over towards this side of the map. dupreeh might have to do a hell of a lot here with this Deagle. Ooh, flashes in, and that does leave Perfecto blind. Now they know dupreeh's here, and they're quick to deal with him. Already, this, I was going to say should be the save, but getting that kill onto Boomich might entice Astralis to give this a bit more of a look in.
Nope.
Never mind.
It's just simple, looking at you, winking through the scope. Takes down Magisk. Well, this is going to be another round for Navi, but yeah, that kill could have turned the tide right there. Had there not been a pick from Simple afterwards, there's the real chance that Astralis should say, hey, you know what, let's go for it. They don't even have the bomb planted yet. We're already in pretty good position for a retake. But that's in the game of what ifs and what could have been.
But honestly, a double save isn't too bad, right? With no armor, a molly flash was all they had to go for in the 3-on-3, and no kit either. That retake would have been optimistic at best for Astralis, and Navi do lock it in with a 4th round on this T side. At least some weapons to play with for the Danes. They can afford to fully buy up into this round. Glaive can even drop over an AWP if they please, and that will be the case. Bit of a US Air Force tactical timeout now for Astralis as they mull things over. 4 rounds in a row for Navi. All of them being save rounds for Astralis. Certainly feeling like they're not having too much of a say in the late round of this map. Getting cut out. Maybe a taste of their own medicine, though. That's what Navi were consistently doing on the CT side of Inferno. Astralis constantly finding 2 or 3 kills in the first 20 seconds and then guaranteeing the round off the back of that. Dust 2 is similar in that sense. Harry even quoted it to be a, quote, big Inferno.
That's right. He did say that. Let's remind him right now.
Yeah, well, you know, the amount of times that we've made those comparisons, I felt like maybe it wasn't the most unjust thing for me to say.
We're seeing the logic here. You know, it's running its course. It's making sense, Harry. In some sense.
Making sense in some sense.
Not a lot.
Kind of
just
where I
little.
find myself a lot. Simple over here in top mid is going to try and make something more than sense. He's going to try and make space in this round. He groups up with the rest of the gang over here at long. And he might oh dear. They boost up Flamey. Boomich does get tagged in the molly as a result. Not the end of the world. That's all fine. And Flamey can just hold these long doors. And that's the thing. Astralis, they made it pretty clear with the upper tunnels push that they're now looking for a remedy to this Navi problem. And so Navi are trying to plan ahead by keeping a man at the long doors, anticipating that in one of these rounds soon, there's going to be a flank. And this could be the round for it. Device is pushed up over here towards the long doors. Meanwhile, dupreeh down in mid, obviously we just saw put up 2 on the board. And so Astralis don't really need to aggress anymore. They can just sit pretty and wait for these players on the Navi side to come to them. And that's where this boost for Flamey could be a bit of a hindrance for Navi. If Device never pushes, Flamey's got to get off of this at some point, and that's going to make noise. Either that, or he just doesn't really get a chance to play into this round. So this fight over here at the long doors could matter a fair bit. Simple, trying to juggle that Krieg out of the map.
Safety first, Harry.
That makes a lot of sense.
And with this kill going the way of Navi now,
Safety
you know, Simple
first.
being seen at the top of middle, that might tempt Device to go aggressive, but you can see he's very patient in his approach, and he's going to run back. Foamy hears that, but again, he doesn't know if that's actual information or info that Device wants him to hear. He'll drop one in, and Device will take him down. Good spot, good pick, and Zipex drops on the site. Device has to make up for it, and he does. Simple falling into the CT spawn. Quick kill onto Glaive. There's a chance, but a no chance as Device does not miss that shot. If Simple can bait the fight, get Device to miss, maybe he can take him down, but instead it's going to be Astralis back on the board with a 5th. The tactical pause runs its course.
Oh dear. We do have a close game on our hands. And again, safety first. just set up just comfortably inside of this beast site. Might be dropping a smoke. He's not there alone. Zipex is on the case as well. That flash over mid is going to do a good bit of at least keeping Astralis from seeing what's going on in here in mid. They have to be constantly worrying about that now. And constantly worrying they will.
Yeah, just a constant state of worry. And not really feeling it now, as Magisk has got ahead and thrown down that Molotov to delay the push. Simple. Out here through middle and looking for a kill with the AWP. Dupree and Glaive readying themselves over here on the A side of the map. Dupree might try and catch this timing onto Flamey at long, but this is not where the play, or at least the bulk of this round, is going to come through for Navi. A lot of this is now relying on the catwalk push. Simple down here in CT, armed with the AWP. Waiting for this kill onto Magisk while the rest of his team try and work the short side. Glaive hiding in this smoke again. He did this a couple of rounds ago. And he hears them running back. He gets the info. When this smoke fades, Electronic, there's no way he's ready. And he does start to flick onto Glaive. Xyp9x has pushed the tunnels in the meantime. And oh no, they're on the rotation. They're going back to B. Astralis, they know everything. But knowing is only half the battle.
Yeah, you feel like Xyp9x would be more ready there, right? Like you said, Glaive got that information. He's on catwalk. He hears Navi run back. The smoke fades. He gets a kill, and he goes, okay, cat's clear. They're coming B. They're dropping lower. Maybe Xyp9x thinks they're going mid, but no, Navi just run the gauntlet into the tunnel, and with that crucial kill from them, they will get around a 5th on the board, biting right back onto Astralis' economy that was only just saved in the previous. And now it is a save, and the current AWP and M4 going into the next for Astralis as Navi level up the score, level up the playing field here on Dust 2.
And I can't help but to ask, you look at this series, and let's say that Astralis, they kind of get handled here. And, then we really can hypothetically say, okay, the 6-man rotation thing that is supposedly on the cards in the future for the side of Astralis, would that play into a series like this in the future?
How legendary would it be if they just like subbed out a player just for the last map for S-Tag, just threw him into train, if this were to go the distance.
But then you've got to ask too, like, okay, well, who's it going to be?
That's always the hard one, right? And that's why I think S-Tag is a great pickup. He's a very good player in almost every role. We've seen him in-game lead, we've seen him AWP, we've seen him entry. He's just a great player individually, and I think that's why Astralis wanted him on their side. He can fill anyone's shoes, which is all the pressure, I guess.
Oh,
nice.
Man, this is rough. But yeah, it always felt like with S-Tag, in the early iterations, especially of that heroic squad, is he was like always bought in to just be a filler player, kind of, and just like take up the roles that were left. We saw that early on with like the AWP and things like that. And I think, in the beginning, it felt like it hurt S-Tag, never playing a role where he was like the focal point, never the guy kind of being played around. But I feel like in the long run, it set him up to be a much better player, right? Because he now knows how to play all of these roles to a, not necessarily like a top level, but to a damn good level. And if one team could draw on that, it's got to be Astralis. But in this round, it's them getting drawn on. Navi really painting a grim picture here as they might be about to take this 6th round dominantly. Now, it was only the pistols in this one with that AWP, and they haven't been able to find anything for Astralis.
Oh. Methodical T-side for Navi as they come back into the swing of things. Astralis aren't being given the room to maneuver. Device trying to hold on to this AWP, but Navi have him trapped and surrounded. Oh, God. The flash in his face as well. It's going to fade, but there's a man around the corner ready and waiting. Flamey. Oh dear, here he comes. There's a shot. Device at least holding his own here, but how much further can he really get with Simple outside of the long doors and players in the A site pushing the perimeter? Device trying to take cover using the telephone pole. And he might want to phone home after this one.
Ooh, does manage to hold on to the AWP. This man,
yeah, no.
Not good for any more. Simple does cut him down. Navi 6-5 now here on Dust 2. They have gone and won themselves 6 of the last 7 rounds. Astralis only able to put up that one isolated round since coming off the back of the pistols and the success they found there. And outside of that, it's been the Navi show. And so much of this, once again, is coming from the likes of Simple. It feels like, perhaps unsurprisingly at this point in time, he sits 3-0 in opening duels. He is uncontested right now on the server, leading in a very, very big margin. And it has been Device on the receiving end of these in a good few of these rounds. So Simple definitely winning that head-to-head right now, it feels like. Maybe not in terms of raw kills, but on a one-to-one level, certainly. You can see that Navi are the ones reaping the benefits.
Double up is here, though, for Astralis. Dupree is tagged early in the round. So playing safe on the B-bomb site, hoping that Navi don't come his way. And they may not. 3 up on the catwalk right now for Navi, just a standard default. They can bail at any point, go back to a mid to B, take tunnels control with a man already in position there, and with someone holding the long doors, it's Flamey, making sure they're not getting flanked. Astralis have not been throwing in any long flanks this game, and I want to see if that changes, because Navi have been consistent in their approach into holding onto that position, not letting Astralis get any surprises in this. Smoke towards B, it's a mid to B. Dupree unscopes and he misses his chance, but he goes back to mid, looking for another one. Hits a leg onto Boomage. The B play coming in. The Molotov should force him forward. The bullet certainly will. Perfecto puts him in the ground, and Navi with an excellent B split. Perfecto even burns out his teammate, but it might not matter as Astralis run for the hills.
Yeah, just a little bit of barbecue on his way out. Not a big deal. Boomage, the only player to, you know, really pass on in this round, and that is at the hands of his own teammate. So, unfortunate, but surely some LOLs were exchanged in the chat. Lulz, if you're in, well, the chat that we know about.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. It's so weird to see this, like, polar opposite situation. Exactly what Astralis were doing to Navi back on Inferno, Navi are now doing to Astralis here. And that's why, like, when you look at the leaderboard, I haven't done the maths on it, but I'm just like taking a look here. I imagine Astralis are ahead in terms of the frags, which just seems crazy to think that they're behind in the server, you know, 7-5. But that's because so many of these rounds have been this, have just been 2 kills going the way of Navi, and the other 3, the other 2, whatever that number ends up being, just having to hold on to these weapons. And that can feel horrible. For Astralis, they've like barely even played a CT side right now.
34 kills on Astralis to the 29 of Navi. That was quick maths, though, and there's always a danger. So yeah, but you know, at least more for Astralis in this one. So you are right in that prediction, Harry. That is often, you know, I mean, it's a weird one. We saw it on Inferno, right? Especially with all those saves. Sometimes 2 kills can win you the round, and Simple, maybe 1 kill in his case. He's found Device, and he wants to double up. What on earth? It hits the arm.
Nah, that's...
maybe the backpack, something like that, the
right,
models.
Valve, we got to take a look at that one. Replay the whole round from that point onwards, but with Simple getting the kill, because...
Seems like it was stolen almost.
He took like extra time to line that up as well. I think like anticipating that there would be some BS with hitboxes, you know, really wanting to make sure he had it locked in. And he still gets robbed. Simple. This round only has 1 kill to his name. Should have been 2. We all know it. We all saw it. But Electronic at least keeps this one even further in the advantage of Navi.
That smoke is great. Simple just threw it from the T-spawn as well. It denies Glaive the info for lower. That being said, he's making the best of a bad situation, pushing up the catwalk, and no one is ready for it. He's running. This is dangerous as a teammate, an enemy in T-spawn, but no gun out. Perfecto reacts in time, and Glaive whiffs a spray. That is a big mistake. Navi have a 5-on-2. Dupree still here. He can grab the gun from the body of Glaive, but it might be low ammo, and there's still Perfecto and Co waiting around the wings. Electronic is coming out of spawn as well. Dupree should have the drop on this one, surely. There's one. Knows there's a second, but he is going to get traded. Big frag for Electronic. Magist now with a deagle. Has to step up on his own, but he runs out of ammo after just 1.5. Simple with a trade. And Navi with 8. Building upon this T side. They have won every round since Astralis took their 4-0 lead, with the exception of 1 in the middle of it. 4 in a row for Navi, 1 round for Astralis, another 4 in a row for Navi. And they're looking to close out the half with 10.
And it might just be like the full-on reverse comeback for Navi. They found themselves on the back foot early on. It looked like maybe we were going to have a repeat of Inferno, and in a way, we do have a repeat of Inferno, but with the side switched around. You're bang on, Hugo, as well. If Navi get this round, a 10-5 half is more than likely for the Navi squad. They try and pick up the pace, and that does lead to Boomich getting dealt with over here on the catwalk side. There's Perfecto with the trade, able to exchange a bit more damage. Onto Xyp9x. He now has to take up this short position as Glaive fell, leaving Device to try and hold the long side. Offers himself up to Simple. Xyp9x does at least beat Perfecto, and this opens up an avenue of rotation for Astralis in this retake. This is like the closest they've been to a bomb site in a retakeable scenario, it feels like, for the Danes. Navi, can they get this one over the line? As finally we see a retake attempted from Astralis.
Yeah, this is going to crunch their money if they don't win it, though. But like you say, they've got to go for it. That's a great pick for Electronic. Xyp9x looked like he could see him, but Electronic just sneaking into the angle. Molly's on long, but Navi are contained inside of the site and on the catwalk. Magisk finding Flamey the hard way, and bullets in the face of Astralis as Navi just out-aimed them coming up the catwalk. It's going to be 9 rounds. This T-side is non-stop for Navi.
And this is the pacing that they needed in the last map, albeit 16-5 has no indication of that being the case, and certainly so. Here, however, it does feel like everybody in Navi has found just what they wanted to do. And we're going to look at this last round of the half. Simple with the auto sniper, of course, spamming down middle. A little bit of damage done to Magisk and Glaive early on in this round. They're going to find themselves just above half, but in the meantime, it's Navi fanning out for a little bit of map control.
I almost feel like, you know, that's Simple just saying, you know what, you want to start bringing P90s to the equation, Dupree? I got something for you.
You think I can't smoke mid through a smoke?
Yeah, watch this.
Well, let's see if Navi get the taste of loser tears in this round, as Astralis have a pretty weak buy, all things considered. SMG, Scout, no kits, but not like retakes have been happening anyway. The only retake Astralis have won in this map was the opening round in a pistol on the A site. Ever since then, Navi, in the 9 rounds they've won, 6 of them have been Astralis saving.
Yeah, Boomich reads that whole situation very, very well. With the flash going in, he anticipates this B-side peak. Device is going to try and go up and over this smoke. Boomich definitely caught wind of that, though, and now has a good idea as to where this man is. Smokes go down for CT. Oh, Device still hidden. Oh, now Boomich knows. He heard him fall off. And that's given up that there's a man down here at CT, but close mid. Magisk deals with one before the trade comes in. Device gets dealt with. It's very back and forth down in middle. This is going to split the defense of Astralis up. They try and take catwalk in response. Dupree, that fight meant everything. And Simple, I don't know how he's done it, but he has done it. He deals with Dupree in a matter of moments. Xyp9x now trying to come up through CT. He'd already began a rotation toward the B site, and that's because Glaive had heard Perfecto making noise in the tunnels. Glaive and Xyp9x left in the clutch. A scout does remove Electronic. The ball is rolling, but can they keep this momentum up? Xyp9x gets across. Simple still on the catwalk. They know that he's here. The bomb is planted for him. This should be an unwinnable round for Astralis. They tap the bomb. They bait the peak, but Perfecto holds his own. And it's a 10-5 half for Navi.
Teams winning their own map pick? It almost seems wrong to me, but we're here, and we're here to stay. Astralis, though, they want to make it a 2-0, and they've got a long road to recovery on this T side. The road, however, it's not paved with danger. Not for the moment. Navi have left long right open in this round. It will allow them to flank catwalk through middle and come in on a retake, but we might see another one of those famous 5-on-5 post plants here.
Yeah, that isn't as Simple has anything to say about it. And this is, well, a man of few words, but many actions. Taps through this smoke. Doesn't deliver a kill, but it's a bit of chip damage onto Dupree. They do get into the site. The bomb plant can be found. It's Simple on his first peek on in. Gets dinked down to 15 points of health. That is not ideal for Navi. These 2 flashes on Perfecto have to do a hell of a lot, right? They've got to open up this round to allow Navi to actually force some of these fights in their favor. And that is going to help so much. Flamey removing Dupree. Leaves Navi in a 5-on-4. They now try and close the distance. Smokes have been thrown in by Astralis, but it's not helping them. Glaive's got to do a hell of a lot here, and he's getting pressured from all angles. Magisk is dropped, and Navi, they only lose 1 man in that 5v5 retake.
Yeah, really chaotic scenes, but ultimately Navi group up. They say, you know what, we're going to attack this problem together, and that's some of the testament that we can put to is how this Navi lineup is functioning and where they're finding that sort of happiness from within, if you call it that.
Well, certainly going to be happy after that one with a full buy coming through for the side of Navi. Astralis not quite as well endowed. They're going to be down on rifles. Some forcing going on, though, and it does provide a good bid in the second of the half. Double AKs and a Galil. Scout and device, but no armor behind it. Where do they go from here? Just the default for Astralis. Lower taken, top mid cleared out, long being held by the likes of Glaive. Seeing if Navi want to force any fights, but they are playing standard stuff, just waiting in the wings. Better performance from Electronic in this map than that of Inferno. Obviously, everyone really struggled with the exception of Simple, but this man that we look to so often was down bottom of the board for Navi. Now he's 10 and 10. Scout's going to push Simple back. He wants nothing to do with it. Astralis might be taking middle here.
Boomich has aggressed into the long doors in the meantime and gets a bit of information that this side of the map is looking clear. It wouldn't surprise me if we maybe even see him go a bit further than this. I know it's risky, but he certainly feels tempted. Electronic and Simple over here in the A-bomb site. Astralis, not the duo they want to go running into. They're not going to be able to avoid them. Instead, they got to tackle it head on. And Magisk will take the head off of Electronic. Now Simple at the back of the site taps down the first man in, and they don't actually respond immediately. It's Zipnik's there to deal with Simple. Boomich up through the ramp. They're not ready for a third man, and Boomich sends them all packing. A 12th round on the board for Navi, and it's big Boomich there with a big play to make that round happen. 12-5. And you love to see it, especially because he's been struggling early on, right? Boomich had 3 kills going into that round there. He's over-doubled it with an MP9 in a very important round.
Those GG bet odds have closed right up. They were favoring Astralis pretty heavily coming into this map, and I don't blame them considering how dominant Inferno was, but Navi have come alive in the second, and Astralis on a full eco now. Deegs, no armor, no utility. Even some Glocks still in play. It's not going to be pretty here for Astralis. Any kills they can find is fantastic. This is common to see Cat plays with this kind of buy. Simple. Oh dear, Messi in middle. He's going to get dropped. Flamey. If he dies here, that's not only a route open for Astralis, but multiple guns at the feet of these Ts. Flamey needs to stay alive, and he will fall back into the B site. Astralis just going for that Cat play that we expect, but Electronic should be able to lay down the hurt here. AK in his hands. That's a good start. Ooh. Nice.
Dupree does get that response, but yeah, there's Boomich immediately cancelling him out with the nade. And so they put a stop to that round getting too deadly. Nice and easy over on the Navi side. The investment is in for Astralis, but their chance, same as what we saw from Navi back on Inferno, to kind of get control over this half, really does rely now on this one round over here on the T side for Astralis. They've got to find some success, and if they don't, this could be our second 16-5. Yeah. Maybe not even the last. Double flashes down through mid as they run the gauntlet. Ballsy to say the least. Flamey fully flashed here with these mid-doors flashes. Does just try and hunker down and hold for any sort of mid-play. Boomich aggressing over towards the long doors, just keeping Astralis out of as many avenues as he can. That nade finds a bit of chip damage onto Dupree. And even little, you know, strokes of damage like that onto both Zipnik and Dupree in this round have some implications for Navi. It opens up these AK players down to the one-shot headshot potential of these M4s. Simple. Away from the catwalk, gets flashed out of the angle. Has to concede this ground to Astralis. So they've got Cat, they've got 1 minute and 5 seconds left on the clock. But this is looking like a B play.
Yeah, the mid to B. But the smoke's going down for Astralis. Navi are leaning on the A site with 3. They're not going to be able to put a stop to this. It's all about the players inside of B holding their own. Flamey has to be careful with these mid peaks. You know how dangerous they are. Astralis are going to be watching, and he gets dinked on the first fight, not even looking for a kill, and he's out of the round for now. Perfecto has got to stand the test of time. Flamey going 1-for-1. Do they check it? Yes, they do. Flying through the air. Zipnix and Perfecto, a perfect spray to find damage, not kills. Only one as Dupree and Glaive have put on their last legs. It's Navi in for a retake here to find 14. 3-on-3, and Device has got the AWP as well in tunnels. Will he be ready for Boomich?
Oh, Boomich. Oh, Device did just check, but a second too soon, and Boomich lays waste to him. Glaive and Dupree low on HP, and now a 1v3. The man on our screen has to try and do it all. Half the timer ticked off this bomb. Dupree does deal with the first man in. And now trying to isolate these fights. Dupree, a second, just simple left to beat. And while he does get the kill, I don't know if there's time. This is going to be so down to the wire.
He's got it.
Oh, they do get the round. Simple in the 1v1, gets the frag. Dupree hoped he'd done enough, but it wasn't. 14-5. And Navi, they might be about to do it to him again.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a 50-kill game for Simple, but there's just simply not enough rounds, Harry. He's got 19 frags, 8 deaths. He's top of the server and winning a crucial one-on-one as well, just to not let Astralis back in the game. It may feel like, you know, that's not an important round for Simple because of the scoreline, but you just don't want Astralis to start to pick it up if you're Navi. You don't want to give them anything here in the second half. Do to them what they did to you. Go flawless in that second half. Because this is almost exactly the inverse of Inferno. We've already talked about it, but a 10-5 half, and then Astralis went 6-0 on CT Inferno to close the map. Navi didn't get a single T round. Well, right now Astralis might be dealt the same hand. It's 4-0 for Navi in this half. Electronic looking to make it 5, and he finds Glaive up on the catwalk. A desperation B play for Astralis. Perfecto's ready for it. Pushed up close. He's going to get the spray, but no headshot. Dupree's quicker on the trigger, and he's looking to find more. Outside of the site is the man in the door, but he loses his life. Flamey picked up by Magiska top the box, and now Astralis can plant it. It's this time ready for the flanking in the tunnels as well, and Navi might call their first save.
Simple. The Cyclops here. One eye is all that's needed, and not getting that kill. All right, he's got to run for the hills. Got to head the hell out of there. Astralis, they will put a 6th round up on the board here with this B plate. Oh, that's one kill found on these players attempting to save. That's going to force Astralis to exit through the mid doors. Dupree does regain the tunnel's control, so actually they've dealt with this danger.
With that 6th round on the board, we're looking at not replicating the scoreline there from Katowice. Unfortunate. The 16-5s.
That would be quite a series if we had the same scorelines across 4 maps. Of course, this one's looking like it's going to a 5th or a 3rd.
Yeah. Just for the simplicity, probably just say a 3rd.
Not a BO5, not yet. That's the grand final, though. That'll be coming up in some time. This is the first day of Stage 2 groups with more round-robin action featuring some of the top teams in Europe. And, well, the top 2 teams in the world on your screens right now, Navi, Astralis, and it's another buy-in for Navi after that save. The AWP getting swapped out. Simple is back on it. Astralis take long, but they don't do much with it. Bomb going to be joining them late, but they still have 2 lurks.
Simple posted up here in middle. Eyes towards Xbox, but he's going to back away. Slither back in the CT spawn while Electronic swings on Cat. And finds a kill on Device. So it's either Simple or Electronic. Pick your poison, Debbie.
Well, at the end of the day, it's just poison. So nothing that Astralis want.
Nice little jump peek for info there from Boomich. Spots the players at long, and now the game plan of Astralis is all too clear to the Navi side. Boomich spamming this smoke, gets away with 1 kill and a bit of damage spread onto everyone else. Glaive trying to come in for this late lurk, and he does deal with Electronic there. He wasn't quite able to get the drop on him. 2nd kill for Glaive in this round. Has left a 3-on-3 open. Boomich tries to go through this Molotov, and now he's very, very deep. Glaive over here on the catwalk, a lot of responsibility on his shoulders. And he will look to answer the call. It's getting close. Glaive finally finished off, and now Xyp9x 1v2. But we know this man can hold his own in the clutch. Does manage to deal with Perfecto, and now just Flamey to find the time ticking away from Flamey. Xyp9x might be about to add another clutch to the tally, and indeed he does. 7 rounds on the board for Astralis, and 3 for Xyp9x in that round. Navi, no money left, so a chance for Astralis to start to grind their way back into this game.
The exact position Navi don't want to be in. Of course, they're still comfortable right now. They have plenty of opportunities to close this map and take us to train, but Astralis with back-to-back rounds off the back of Navi's save has left them, like you say, absolutely out of dollars here on the CT side. Astralis, how many rounds will they take on this attempted comeback? They're going to go fast and furious in this one. Dupree getting stuck in the wall. He has a Mac 10 to find these easy kills on the armorless players. Majestic down. It's got to be careful. Dupree may as well run through this Molotov as it fades. Set up towards a B split.
Yeah, and the frags found in this round from the side of Astralis can be classified as eeks, or at least that's how NAF would classify them. Gonna go get them eeks. Need some more eeks. Talking about the eek.
Just hunting them down one by one. Make quick work of it for Astralis. They deal with the last long player. Xyp9x let Electronic get out, but finds him at the end of the round. It's Astralis on 8, 14 for Navi, and still money to work with now as they can reinvest and try and close out this game. No AWP though for this buy. It's going to be some time.
And with Xyp9x starting to find his form, Astralis, if there ever was a time for them to do the impossible and get back into this, it is now. Xyp9x went from being pretty like middle of the pack, 12 kills to his name, to now second in the server in these last 2 rounds, putting up 6 of the 10 kills required. Perfecto is fully blind here, but is going back into this smoke. I kind of love this from Perfecto. They've completely gone round him, and because, oh, never mind, Device, of course, he checks it. And that's Perfecto deleted. Not able to get a little gimmicky smoke push off. Look at how fast these rotations are for Navi. 3 players over in mid. But this retake can't really afford to happen until Boomich is in position. They're going to try and quad man wrap into the tunnels. Glaive, while he's expecting, 1 or 2 players to come from here, this might be a little bit over his estimations. There's the CT push from Boomich, and he does manage to pick up Glaive. So now the man advantage in favor of Navi, but that Molotov might just seal their fate, rather. Yeah, they're going to have to save. They back out. 4 players staying alive for Navi. Astralis, they don't even let that retake get attempted by the Navi side.
It's a safe stack for Astralis. Instead of leaving the site, they're going to go triple cart. You can survive that bomb if you have enough health. Xyp9x gets away with 10. So, yeah, not a problem for Astralis. 3 guns saved. That was important as well. They knew that both their exit routes were cut off. Navi had both tunnels and mid. So if Astralis leave the site, they likely give away that AWP on Device. And to a Navi that can't afford it, could have grave consequences. This comeback starting to look realistic. 4 rounds in a row. 10 is the next for Astralis. Once they get double, that's when you really got to start worrying. Flamey gets legged on the cross, and Boomich sprays down 2 massive kills from Boomich as he backs off here, keeping the advantage for Navi. They bought utility around this buy somewhat, and they've made it work for now. But Astralis, good in these mid rounds, slow it down in the 3-on-4. They need to win the next fight, though, otherwise things will be locked and loaded for Navi to find map point.
And depending how this round, pays out, this could certainly be something where Boomich looks back and puts a big old smile on his face for the 2 frags that he got there. You see this reaggression of Long here from the 2 players of Astralis. They're going to leave Dupree in middle and try to put this AWP out there in the forefront. Get some shots down range onto Navi, who do find themselves set up for a rotation. Currently, Perfecto watching from the elevator, and that's going to be Boomich on catwalk. Mid's now clear. The word has been given.
Oh, no.
Yeah, and this is a good read from Navi on this whole situation. They send Simple into the back line. Glaive had been holding for it this entire time. And at the exact moment Simple is about to come around the corner, Glaive has looked away. There's a little gap now for Simple to exploit. And this is not a man you want to go giving room to. The round is now in Simple's hands, and there's one to his name. He's going to hold off on the repeat. Glaive is locking down the angle, so he's made the right decision, toying with them. Just keeping this in the back of Astralis' minds might be enough. Dupree dealt with on the car. Glaive left alone, and Simple comes in with the long wrap to solidify map point for Navi, 15-9.
Yeah, that's such a good play from Simple, right? He just doesn't overcommit. He goes, he gets the info, he knows they're long, they've thrown the smokes, he gets a kill on Device, and then he just backs up. And like you said, he waits for his team, because Simple, he can go wide there and try and get another kill, but if he dies, you know, it gives Astralis an equal trade, and they just commit to A, and they have a better chance. With him stalling out, letting Perfecto get the next fight, and Astralis trading that one out, they're going to be preoccupied. And Simple comes in the very end to close it out. A safe one for Navi as they solidify 15. Fast mid-play for Astralis through the smokes. If he didn't catch it, but Flamey will trade as well as the bullet is caught by his chest. Glaive goes above and beyond him, B, but Perfecto is going to send him packing. Astralis once again down a man.
Yeah, we're looking at potentially the end of map 2. Does leave us for Train as a decider, but for the time being, just Magisk, Zipex, and Device. It's going to be Device that takes Simple out of the round, leaving Perfecto vulnerable in this B site. Posted up at the closet. Now the hit's going to come on in. Just from the door, it's Device with the shot. And ultimately, at this point, anybody's round. 2v3. While Magisk is very low, it doesn't look like Navi want to get too up close and personal with it. So we're going to see another save come out here. Boomich maybe trying to get some exit kills towards lower, but double digits for the Danes. 15-10.
And yeah, I mean, even though it's not a huge chance for Astralis, right? You don't feel like chaining together 5 rounds is that impossible. They already managed to get 4 in a row over on this T side with this one round, thanks to really Boomich and Simple coming in to get Navi to map point. But I don't know, man, you can never count Astralis out. That's the thing with this squad, right? Like, it just can't be done. They can always make anything feel doable. And with Device coming alive in that round there, Xyp9x, as we touched upon, having a real resurgence as well. I don't know, it feels like the key players for Astralis are starting to find their footing here on Dust 2. Now, is it going to be the classic situation of just too little, too late? And with Navi already being so far ahead, you know, it's only going to take one big performance. And when you do just so happen to have the best player in the world on your team, you know, those big performances can come pretty frequently.
Oh, maybe even from Perfecto as well. Yeah, he's dropped 2 outside of long. Boomich just come in for support. Perfecto stalling. Doesn't need to recommit. Glaive's been tagged, and Boomich can make next contact. He finishes the job. Not like this, Astralis. This was an eco for Navi with saved weapons. They might make it a reality. Only Device left up. He's not got the bomb, but neither did Navi. He doesn't have his life either. Navi shut him down in the middle. 16 rounds to 10. It gets close. Astralis claw the comeback, but it wasn't meant to be. Train is where this series will end up. The final map.